On the dot. What does that mean?
Time for you to ring the bell. Run. You need to run.
Time for me to get my morning jog in? Or my,
She was close enough.
or my second morning jog, although Stephanie doesn't like me to talk about my runs.
Listen, I've already
Got
told
it,
you.
Dave? How are you? You're in the way.
Make him do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just chuck him.
Lock them.
Shut the door.
All right, time for our on-time drawing. Caught you guys off guard, didn't I? What the hell is he doing? All right, on-time drawing, what do we have? We have some good shit. Oh, did I say that? We have folders. Look at that, black one, gold one, and white. We have a shirt. Hopefully it's your size. If it's not, you can trade it in. Mouse pad, and some other stuff. All right.
Okay, I'm here.
Your odds are good.
Yeah, Mila's not here.
All right. What number do you guys want?
5.
20.
Who's 3?
I think it's me.
He's the new Mila.
I'm here.
You know what? You win too much. You can't have it.
Thank you very much. I really need those for new deals.
You know what? Go get some deals. You know what? Sell some Pulte homes.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Speaking of Pulte, they are our breakfast sponsor, and so let's welcome them up. Is that an amazing breakfast?
Yes.
Come on in, ladies. There we are.
Alright. Good morning, good morning. How's
Morning.
everybody doing today? That just okay?
Outstanding.
Yeah, there we go. Wonderful.
Yay. Well, we have a couple, she's gonna banner white it, and we're gonna, get your, business cards. We do have a couple gift cards to give away this morning, so double those odds again with just Spark, so everybody put your business cards in. And that way also you can be on our, communication list as well for any opportunities we have for quick move-ins, new communities, and just be in the know with what we have with Pulte. How many people have sold a home with us at some point in time? Perfect. How many want to sell more homes with us? Well, we appreciate you guys allowing us to be here today. We're going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to talk about 2 highlighted communities today. So you've got some information in front of you. I'm going to be talking about Daylight today. Michela's going to be talking about Hayford. A couple of things we also want to discuss with you too. So we'll jump into that as well after we talk about both the communities, and I'll circle back around on some information that I feel like is good for you guys to know as well. The first packet that you'll have here is for Daylight. Daylight is actually our newest community that we are actually now in pre-sales. So this is literally just 10 minutes down the street from you guys. I have single-story and 2-story homes ranging from 3,500 to about 5,000 square feet. These are semi-customizable on half-acre home sites. This is where the unicorn product, guys, because we have RV garages, we have oversized garages, so you can get up to 4-car garages plus RV garages on half-acre home sites. So we have guest living suites as well. So people have some multi-generational, families living together. That's a great opportunity for them all to be in the same household, whether that's downstairs in our 2 stories or in the single-story level. There's different wings of the homes as well. So you'll see in here just a little bit of highlight on the community. There is the base pricing sheet. So I go from approximately $912 to $1 million. Home site ranges for the half acres anywhere between, I would say, $90,000 to $125,000 for the lot premiums. So it just depends on what your actual consumers or your clients would need as far as the components. I always offer non-obligated pricing consultations where you can set an appointment with me for no obligation. We can go through the ABCs of price so they can have a really good understanding of what they'd be looking at, total purchase price, before even choosing to go to contract, okay, from that perspective. I know there's all kinds of different lender options out there. We do have our own in-house lender, which is Pulte Mortgage. So here at Daylight, you do get 3% of base towards closing costs, so there's less out-of-pocket expense there at closing. They can also apply that down to buy down their rate as well. So with these specific homes, you could be anywhere from $28,000 to $30,000. So a decent chunk of change at the end of the escrow period for flex cash that they can utilize. I also put some inventory, so you'll see a couple inventory sheets that you have in your packet. The first inventory sheet that's stapled to this is for Daylight specifically, so I am already getting homes out of the ground. So if you do have clients that need to be in these larger homes sooner than an 8 to 9 month build process, I've got some as early as March. So just kind of keep that in mind as well. The second sheet is just an inventory sheet that I have for just different communities that I have access to as well. Michelle has access to communities too. We'll talk about that in general, and she's gonna talk about Hayford as well. HOA, very minimal. It's $125, that's it. No sits, no lids, which is really great. So if anybody has questions on that. Do you have any specific questions that you can think of for Daylight for me before we go into some other information? It's not gated because part of the rural preservation area over there, it's a lot of custom homes. It's a little bit random. You could have maybe a tear down home and then just a block away, $2 million, $4 million home. So most of the homes in that location are custom homes. We are pocket building, so it's a little bit more boutique. So I'll have a home site collection of 16 homes in one location, an 8-home cul-de-sac in another location, and a few streets down, like different cul-de-sacs that total 23. So I'm gonna have a total of 47 homes by time of completion here. I'm already actively looking at purchasing more land as well. So this will be a continuation for these homes in general.
What are the cross streets?
So the easiest way is Decatur and Warm Springs, okay? But if you are interested in going, my model is still under construction, so I am by appointment only. All my cell phone, all my information's all over these sheets. So I'm doing pre-sales at a different location at Rainbow Crossing. So if you ever do wanna speak further with me, just call me on my cell, or we can set up a time to actually meet with your clients at my pre-sales office. I do have other sister communities that they can walk through the floor plans during the construction period, because I'm only gonna model one home. So I have my sister community Hayford that they could go through. However, my homes are gonna be 1,000 square feet larger than Hayford's. So they'll need to make sure that we're setting proper expectations as they go through models so they have a good idea on that. And then I have my sister community, The Point in Summerlin, my Royalty and Luminary homes are modeled there, which are my single stories for all of
So you said it's Decatur and Warm Springs?
Yep,
it's
so,
not far from.
no, it's like 10 minutes away, so if you go Decatur and you were to take a right in
All
Decatur
the
and
way
a left,
to Springs.
yep, and a left in Warm Springs, that's where the location's gonna be. There's a church right there by Shrills, Warm Springs and Shrills, and you would see all of my billboard, and I'm gonna be putting some flags, some different Burmas and lollipops, just to get some more presence there, if you will, you know, from that perspective, so we can have our Pulte presence there as well.
So what is the 125 HOA includes?
So that's for the private streets, maintenance of the streets, the insurance of the streets, and then the easements and our common area aspects that need to be maintained by the HOA. Any other questions on Daylight? Can you think of?
When will the model be completed?
My model's probably gonna be moving into my model/sales office, I would say in January. So I'm gonna start merchandising that in December, but I'm already selling homes. I've already sold 4 homes in pre-sales. So ground floor pricing is always where we wanna be, right? So now is the time, if you do have somebody, you're coming across somebody in this price point or this type of product that fit for them, is for us to get together sooner than later. I don't advise waiting for the models, because we've got other areas that we can go in town to look at those model homes in the meantime. Yeah, so I'm pretty detailed. They'll be set up for success, you know, so they have the information they need. Okay, you guys have all the information?
How much is commission?
So, okay, we're gonna talk, we'll flip,
Yeah.
what's your name? Zona? So he, if I pronounce it, I apologize if I didn't pronounce it correctly. We'll flip to that real quick. So
Yeah.
we wanted to talk about this. Pulte, we've always understood the relationship with our real estate community. We have been the only builder that I'm aware of that has never ever taken away commissions. We've always paid 3% of base, even in 2008, 2009, for any of you besides me that were selling real estate during that time, right? So we definitely pride ourselves in that realtor community. We understand that it's a win-win. It's a win-win for you guys, it's a win-win for us. So with the August 17th new guidelines, we are still offering up to 3%. So I'm gonna give you a little wink in this area here. We do require your buyer broker agreement now, okay? So please make sure prior to entering contract that it's post-marked before the contract date. So if you're going to contract today, it needs to be yesterday or prior. We're gonna pay off of whatever your BBA states.
Or whatever's the lesser.
Or whatever the BBA states. So we pay up to 3% of base. So if you state 2.5 in yours, that's what we're gonna be paying. So wink, wink, if you can get up to 3%, you're always gonna be up to the 3% of base with Pulte. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. We just have to now, so we're legally compliant, we have to turn in those BPAs with our contracts as well. But we want you to get the full commission too. So the 3% of base is our goal for you as well.
Yeah.
Does that answer it?
That was great.
Okay.
Yeah, excited to share that
Yes,
information. We love our realtors. So Hayford, a little bit about Hayford. I'm in a different phase. I am in phase 2 right now, and we're actually in closeout of phase 2. With that being said, at the moment, I don't have any dirt lots available to build from dirt. What I do have is a very good list of quick move-ins available at Hayford. I'm about 10-15 minutes south. I am adjacent to Southern Highlands between Decatur and Jones on Cactus. Fully gated community, HOA is only $60. I have 1 stories, 2180 square feet, and then my 2 stories around 3,900 square feet. And my 3-story with rooftop deck is around 4,800 square feet. So much larger homes. What's great right now is our quick move-ins. We are providing up to 6% towards closing costs, which would buy the rate down anywhere from 4.25 to 4.99. And if they wanted to throw in a 3-2-1 buy down, we can do that. Or if they prefer to pay their closing costs, we can do that as well.
And the one thing to notice about that, Michelle is saying, which is an awesome point, is on any quick move-in inventory in the valley, so as long as someone closes by December or before, myself and Michelle can accommodate you, okay? Just because I manage daylight, she's at Hayford, you can reach out to us and say, hey, what do you got across the valley? This is the price point, this is the specifics for the client. And as long as that home qualifies to close by December or before, we can go up to 6% of base towards your closing costs buy down rate, like she was saying.
Yeah.
It's gonna be important to note that's by putting 10% down. So there are some specific criteria that we'll have to talk about, but it's an awesome opportunity because the days of even we have opportunities to 3.75, the days of 4.2 and 4.9 have long gone, right? So it's an awesome opportunity for somebody to be able to, in some cases, sit down in education and say, hey, let's look at what today's rate would look like versus what a 4% or 4.9% rate would look like, and show them real-time math of that could change your payment by $400, $500 a month in some cases.
And we can crunch all those numbers together in office. We have some tools that we can utilize to show them the difference in payments to help make the best choice for your buyers. Another good thing would be, we are nearing the end of the year, so as you guys know, we also are taking reasonable offers. So anything you see on that quick move-in list, let me know if you have a buyer that's interested, and I'm happy to work a deal if we can.
What was that about 3.75%? Is that buy down from the 6% contribution that you're giving?
Yeah, so it's gonna depend on credit scores and different criteria, right? So it's gonna depend on how much they're putting down, typically assuming good credit, 20% down. It's also gonna depend on the type of loan program, whether you're VA, conventional, et cetera.
So the 3.75 is gonna pertain to an FHA loan. Typically in our price point, we're doing conventional or VA, so that would be 4.25 to 4.99, just depending how they wanna allocate that 6%.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Now, if I want to advertise these houses in my social media, I'm very bad in tech, so there is somebody in your office that can help me to do some video and put it in my social media? Or maybe you already have a video of Pulte that I can advertise in.
We can't from a Pulte perspective, we can't provide material to you to do, but you can come in, or maybe one of your colleagues here, or somebody here could help you, with the videos. You could come in for our models. You just can't advertise Pulte's names on your marketing, okay? So you could have it as your name contact you, and then you could
Yeah,
contact
of
us.
course.
So if you wanted to come by my models anytime, and I can provide all the information for you to market, brainstorm with you, take some photos with you, help out, I'm happy to do that.
Okay.
Same thing, we just can't provide like, here's your video, that's all I meant, but yeah, we can help you for sure. Any other questions, guys?
So let's talk about these Sky Hills homes here.
Yeah.
So if they want a really, really good neighbor, there's one left in my community.
This is your community?
Yeah.
Talbona?
Yeah.
So we just had a couple, we have a couple of closed out at Talbona's, and I have one at Bowridge, so those are the ones that are on the sheet there. So if you're interested, let me know, I'm more than happy to go over those with you as well, and we're in the final stage there.
Let us be your resource. If you have a buyer and they're looking all over the place, different price ranges, bedrooms, reach out to us. We can give you a list of what we have available with whatever time lane and criteria that they have, and we can just send that out to you, set up showing appointments, whatever you need.
So you wanna do the raffle?
Yeah.
Get out of your hair? Oh, look, put your card in, do you have a card?
Yes. Yeah. Anybody that I'm missing?
And which model is the 3-story here?
That is the Shelby.
Shelby.
Correct. And I don't have a quick move-in that can close by the end of the year, but I have 3 that can in beginning of next year. And I'm happy to email that information over to you if you'd like.
Does the builder offer 4%? You sold 3 this year?
But we still maintain the 3%, so that's good.
Yes. Maggie. Where are you at, Maggie?
Margin.
Margie. Oh, gotcha.
Oh, Marcy, oh, thank you.
Winner, winner.
Thank you.
Melina?
All right.
Hey.
No
Thank you so
problem.
much, Mark,
Thank you guys.
Thank you, ladies, and again,
Thank
thank
you
you
guys
for
for having
for
us.
breakfast, it's amazing, so thank you.
I'm
I'm a huge Pulte supporter.
Yes.
I love my
Can we
house.
email that?
All right. Make sure you check out on Facebook. These are our wrap-ups coming up. Tomorrow's residential purchase agreement. Next Wednesday is working with buyers and getting your offers accepted. And then next Friday is holding successful open houses. Today, our food truck is out in the parking lot that way. And the food truck is world's best corny dogs. How do I know they're world's best? Because that's what it says right there. They are good, I've had them before. World's
Oh my
best.
God.
All right, so Saturday, basically the office is closed. They're scrubbing the floors. We do it every 6 months because these floors get dingy after. So Saturday, office will be closed from 6 to 12. But the other offices will be open. Pizza football kickoff party a week from today. From a week from right now, we will be doing our football kickoff, even though football's already started, so it's really not kickoff. But I'll be making pizzas. All sorts of different types of pizzas, from your basic pepperoni to, I don't know, we do a lot. So be here. Look at that pizza, doesn't that look good? Bought it from Pizza Hut. All right, October 1st is the Breakfast Builders Business Expo, and that's going to be at the Green Valley office from 9:30 in the morning to 9:30 to 12:30. That's a Tuesday. So Tuesday, October 1st, be there for the builders. Learn about all the different builders. Time to pay up, guys. More money goes out to LVR. It's the due date is October 5th, If you're after October 5th, there's a late fee charged. How much is it? It's 300? I think it's 300. So go online and then pay LasVegasRealtors.com. All right, stats. Look at inventory. 7,300 continues to rise. Of those 7,300, 5,448 are single families. Look at this. Remember that when that was down to 0.7, not that long ago, 6-8 months ago, month's inventory was 0.7. Just last, or 2 weeks ago, or a couple weeks ago, it was at 2.8. And look at the active was 7, just went over 7,000. Now we're at 7,300. So, under contract sold have gone up. Actually, sold has gone down a little bit, and that's why that month's inventory continues to go up. We're still in a seller's market. We're still dealing with multiple offers, but it's just the homes just aren't selling quite as quick as they were before.
Why is that?
A lot of buyers are just still on the fence, waiting for the interest rates to come down, even though they're coming down. I thought interest rates have come down quite a bit over the last, just a few weeks, and I really thought that we'd get a bump, but it just hasn't happened yet. I think, buyers are waiting for those 3 and 4% interest rates, which John has in his back pocket. He's just not pulling them out.
We can magically make it.
Yeah, I don't know why we haven't got the bump that I was expecting. Anthony has nothing to say. Just say, there's Anthony out there. Reach out to Anthony for all your escrow, title, marketing needs. He's amazing and he helps us out. So in case you don't know, that's Anthony.
And we just had a brand new NetSheet program come out. There's a flyer in the front where you can scan the QR code. It'll take you directly to the app on the App Store. You guys will be able to download it. I mean, it has hundreds of calculators available. Judy knows.
If any of you are familiar with Palm Agent, that's what it is. So they've been trying to get that for a long time. Finally, the Fidelity companies kind of had that locked in. And now we're able to have it. It's an amazing program, it really is.
Oh yeah, they even have like buy now versus later calculators, all sorts of stuff. It'll prorate the taxes, the mortgage amounts for you, so it's quite a useful tool. So if you guys have any questions on how to download it or any issues accessing it, let me know and I'll be happy to help out.
You're awesome, dude. Thank you.
Likewise.
All right, we have our special guest speaker is Ralph. Ralph has been in here before. He's talked about EDDM and direct mail marketing. So with that, Ralph, come on up.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. All right. Good morning. It's good to be back. It's been
a while, hasn't it?
It's been a while. Yeah. I thought I wasn't going to be doing this anymore.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
Me too. I mean, Every Door Direct Mail. I would say Realty One Group, probably the premier realty firm in this valley that has been using this program from the U.S. Postal Service. I was with the U.S. Postal Service for 34.5 years. I retired at the end of 2019. Started working for Design One Printing. I've got some brochures. I don't know if you grabbed them out there, but Design One Printing, very big with Every Door Direct Mail. It's a company that's been doing it since pretty much the inception of EDDM, which was around the middle of 2011 is when that product was offered by the U.S. Postal Service. And we're gonna cover some things about it. But yeah, good to be here. I'm feeling good, although, I mean, as a rule, I don't eat Advil for breakfast, but I play too much pickleball. So, got any pickleball players in here? One?
Raise your hand, Angel.
I know, I was just gonna say.
Got a question for you pickleball people, and anybody who happens to know. Raise your hand. Where was pickleball invented? What state?
Florida?
No.
I just read an article about
I
it.
saw She's Googling back there, I
Like
think.
Montana.
Oh, me no.
Montana, no, not Montana. Some
You're
little
close.
Random.
You're getting close.
Wyoming.
Not Wyoming.
Colorado?
Idaho.
Nebraska.
Idaho was close.
Utah.
Not Utah. Although they play a lot of pickleball in Utah.
Arizona.
Not Arizona. Too warm.
Washington State.
Washington. Bingo. State of Washington invented pickleball. And your prize, I'm a level 2 credential referee for the PPA, Pro Pickleball Association. I refereed the recent big pickleball tournament they had at the Fountain Globe. And I just have this, I don't know why this ended up in my bag, but I have an official pickleball from the PPA. And this is now yours. Now you must go buy a paddle and start to play pickleball.
Thank you.
Very cool. All right then. Well, let's get moving forward then. Oops, I went backward. Nope. Seems like we're a little backward here. Okay, let's talk about your industry. Now, Ibis World is a company I used when I was a senior sales exec with the Postal Service. We had a contract with them. They provide information. I mean, information on anything. It's scary how much information they have. I was able to get this information from them, but it's old. This is pre-COVID, pre-interest rate disaster stuff. So this is where they thought you were gonna be in predictions, but that didn't happen. So marketing yourself, I think even more, is more important to getting those leads, getting those buyers and sellers. So, let's talk about your industry as far as marketing goes, every door direct mail. We're gonna talk about the company I'm representing, Design One, and moving forward after that. There we go. Let's talk about your marketing options. Anybody ever use radio and TV in here? Kind of expensive. I've heard the ads on radio. I don't know how effective they are, but I know they are pricey. Social media, I see a lot of social media. Anybody use social media? I bet everybody, a lot of people do. Your return, not so good on social media. Newspapers, this usually runs about 10% when I ask. How many people get a newspaper at home? Anybody in the room? We're down to 0% now.
I get Sundays.
You do get one, all right, Sunday paper at least. Okay, so we're a little under 10% now. People don't get newspapers anymore, they can get their information from anywhere else, not have to sit there and read the paper. Door hangers are somewhat effective. I know people use those. Anybody in here use door hangers ever? Yeah. The problem for me is I don't see my front door. I pull into the garage. By the time I get around to seeing my front door, it might be a month old.
Only when you're expecting Amazon packages.
Yeah, that's when I see the front door. But otherwise, it's like, oh, this looks like a good pizza. Oh, it expired because I didn't go see it. It's my front door. Okay, word of mouth is probably the best. You know, I love word of mouth. If you want somebody to give you good recommendation, and they tell somebody, oh, I met Natasha there. She was the best realtor. You should give her a call. You know, that's great.
Really?
That's great word of mouth.
Liar.
It doesn't matter if it's true or not. It's a great recommendation. So that's great. The only problem is you never know when the next one's coming. When's it gonna happen? We don't know. So let's talk about every door direct mail. Here's some examples of every door direct mail. Here, let me get the guys' attention here too. The guys in here. These are every door direct mail. Can be many different sizes.
Sold.
We'll talk about that. You like that one, gotcha, okay. 65% of consumers have made a purchase after receiving a direct mail, piece. And, you know, I'm guilty, you know, I'm always looking for the ads that come in the mail. If you send me an ad and it's gotta get a 2-for-1 on a pizza or something, yeah, I'm all in on that. So if you wanna offer 2-for-1 on homes, you'll probably do well with that too. Probably won't happen. Okay. Let's talk about every door direct mail. Yeah, you'll notice, there's no address label on this at all. So, anybody like recognize these? You've getting these in the mailbox before? You've seen them with no addresses on them at all. No bulk mail permit needed. You don't have to go to the bulk mail unit in the back of the post office and pay $200-something for a year, and they give you a number and all that stuff. Large mail piece. Yeah, they can be huge. They can be bigger than this even. The largest piece you can put out there is 12 by 15. Right? It's like a rough shingle. It's giant. You could hurt people with it. It's so big. Mailing costs, less than traditional direct mail. Traditional direct mail, I think now runs probably around 30 cents if you're mailing in town. Maybe a little less than 30 cents if you're mailing in town. And you've gotta have so many, you gotta have at least 200 people on that mailing list. So the mailing cost is less. Oh, let's just talk about the mailing cost. If you wanna send this out, 22.3 cents to mail this out. So you can see it's quite a bit less than a first class.
What is first class
stamp.
now, 73?
It's up there. And so for this started out at 14.1 cent back in 2012, that I can remember. And for it to only go up to 22 cents, that's pretty good bargain.
What are the dimensions on that one?
This particular one, and I'll go over why this is a great size. This is 4 1/4 by 11. So you take a regular piece of paper like this, and your printer will just cut it right down the middle lengthwise, and you get two of these. So it's less costly for the printer to print a size like this. Not only that, it fits easily in just about any mailbox. Also, it's kind of unique.
And
People
how much
will
is
look
that?
in the mailbox, what is that long skinny thing? That's pretty cool, I wanna see what it is. And let's
So-
face it, yes, sir.
Ralph, so it doesn't matter what size, if they're all the 22 cents?
Excellent question. They are all 22.3 cents. The only difference in the price would be your printer. If you choose a larger size, he's gonna have to use more paper. So he's gonna have to charge you a little more depending on the size you pick. This will probably be the most economical size. And I cannot tell you how many realtors have gone with this size. Hundreds of them have gone with this. The reason is economically speaking, yeah, it's the best value out there. And moving on from that, it's a targeted mailing based on the letter carrier route information. And Mark, when I walked in here this morning, he was already looking at the screen to see if he could find his house on the mapping tool. Because what you do is you put in a zip code or an address at the USPS website, and you just go to Every Door Direct Mail, and I can help you look that up. And yeah, you put in the zip code, and it'll show you the zip code, and within that zip code map, you run your cursor over the map, and all the letter carrier routes will light up on the screen. So if you can zoom in so you can see the area that you want to hit. And we'll cover that as we go further too. The mail piece gets directly into the hands of your customer via the mailbox. So unlike the front door hanger, or an email in the morning that people wake up and they delete, they never see it. They're gonna see it because it's in your mailbox. They gotta go through their mail every day. Yeah, right. Me every 5 or 6 days. I'm not real good at going to the mailbox. All right, Design One Printing. The company I'm representing is a top EDDM company. We know what we're doing because we've been doing it for, gosh, 15, almost 15 years now. And they've got me helping them, and I'm a veteran of EDDM. I've been doing it with the Postal Service forever. So we will not make a mistake on your mail piece. You won't get to the post office and they'll say, oh no, we can't accept that. That's not gonna happen if you go with a legitimate company who's printing you every door direct mail. A lot of people wanna save a little bit of money and go to, I'll just order them from Vista Print or Got Print in California, and they'll just mail it to me. Well, if something goes wrong with that mailing, it's not quite right, they forgot to put your serial number, anything on there, your information, they didn't get it on there right, Postal Service won't accept it. And you'll call them, they don't answer the phone, because they're not local, they're in California, they're a big company, you're gonna get a recording. But if you go with a company like Design One, if you have an issue, call them, they'll make it right. I've seen it happen. I walked into what's the company with the balloon? The realty company?
Yeah, I don't know.
What is it?
Remax.
Remax, that's the one.
Never heard of them.
Well, yeah. Boo, Remax. Anyway,
Heard they're
walked
full
in
of
there. I walk up to the front, I tell them who I am, which company I represent, they're like, oh my gosh, what timing? I guess they had just ordered business cards. And the business cards came in and they cut off the top of the balloon and the agent's hair. And they're calling and there's nobody to answer the phone, so we got them cards that look better. Crazy. Okay, then, any questions on this so far?
Question, did anybody here ever use EDDM?
I know Natasha has that helped her
Yes.
with every
She's
direct
clearly
mail?
not listening. We have that issue with her a lot.
All right, so people are familiar with it then, great.
Ding, 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 now the light just went on.
What does EDDM look like? Okay. See, I got you a couple Realty One groups in there too. This is that 4¼ by 11. And this is more the 9 by 6½, 11 by 6. So these will cost you more than the skinny 11-inch ones.
Actually, I think I have the ones that you made for me.
You still have them?
Yes.
Ah, perfect, there it is,
You're
44
supposed
by
to
11.
I need
Send
some
those out.
editing.
All right.
We'll be contacting you.
So if you're interested in doing a mail piece, something like this, you put what's relevant on there. You put what will catch people's attention. You don't make it too busy. Don't need a lot of information. This might be a little too much information. You want bullet points, maybe 3, no more than 6 bullet points. You want to hit buyers and sellers if you can, because okay, they're not a buyer, they might be a seller, and vice versa. And you get all that relevant information on there, and see what happens. It might take a few mailings. Sometimes it doesn't. I work with an agent in Sun City, Summerlin, and okay, we're gonna do this. So we start the program. His first mailing, he's got people contacting him, and he makes a couple sales right away. That's not normal. You know, that doesn't usually happen. Usually it takes 2 or 3 mailings in order to get people to realize and understand who you are. You live in their community, for example. You know the inventory in the area. It takes a while to get people to know who you are. But if you have something on that mail piece that piques their interest, like call me. Let's do an evaluation of your home's value and see what we're talking about here, if you're interested in selling. So any questions on this, the sizes of these at all? Like Mark asked, they're all the same price to the post office, it doesn't matter. They're still 22.3 cents to mail. Yes,
And
ma'am.
then how you mail it, by the zip code that I'm gonna give you?
You narrow it down to the letter carrier route. In other words, we'll take a zip code and we'll go on further here and take a look at it. Okay, here's the dimensional requirements. They can't be shorter than 6 1/8 inch unless they're longer than 10 1/2 inches. See, this does not meet that 6-inch requirement, but it does meet the length. And it goes the other way too. So it's gotta be one of the 2 requirements on the size. So you can come up with some crazy dimensions, but if you stay within the ones that we do most of, then it's not gonna cost that much because it won't be a crazy size to make. Okay, taller than 6 1/8, longer than 10.5 inches, thicker than 80-pound cover stock, and we know all the information that, to get this post office to accept it. Because we've had issues in the past, when I used to work for the Postal Service, we'd have people call and say, they wouldn't accept my mailing, because it's too small. They took a postcard size 4 by 6 and tried to mail that EDDM. So we'd have to talk to the post office and say, okay, we're gonna allow you to do this one time, as long as you mail them all at one time. Just get rid of them and don't do that again. So, but with Design One, you're not gonna have that issue. Okay, here's what we were talking about, letter carrier routes. I decided to look at 89113. It's like, well, I sold a home in Spanish Trail there. I kind of want those people to know that, yeah, I sold a home right around here. I want them to know, I want to send out a mailing to that direct community. So I went on the tool, I found the map, I ran my cursor over, one lit up here and one lit up over here. So I clicked on them. And it's like, it's telling me over here, okay, you selected 2 routes. You only have to go to one post office to drop it off because they're all in the same zip code. Total mail pieces, 736 mail pieces. Everybody see that okay? 736 mail pieces, approximate cost. There's nothing approximate about it. That is the cost right there. $164.13, and you've hit 736 homes in an area where you just sold a home. And you can tailor your mail piece to that. Hey, we just sold a home in your community. And you can let them know that way. And that's it. You go, paperwork is minimal. I'm not kidding when I say it takes about 5 minutes to do the paperwork. I'll show you how to do it. Yes, ma'am?
Previously, when I've done this, I had to go to the post office that corresponds to the area that they mail to.
Yes.
To drop off the mailers. Are you
Correct.
guys dropping off the mailers, or do they come to us?
We
and
will
then
do it. The gentleman that I do mailings for in Sun City, Summerlin, I charge him $50.
Okay.
I drive to his house, I pick up what I need, the check, the mail, the flyers, and I go to the Summerlin post office. He writes me a check, I hand it to the clerks there at the post office, and he's done. He doesn't have to leave his house.
Well,
So, yes.
yeah, but it's just as easy, you can just go right online, pay it, have it all done, and all you have to do is drop it off.
Well, you still have to stand in line.
No, you have to stand in line, but you can just pay it, what I'm saying, you can prepay it and just have it all done.
You can do it that way too. And you don't have to write a check, you can pay online. But I always tell first timers, don't do that unless you're really good at it. Because if you make a mistake, like a certain dentist out in the northwest part of the valley, he calls me, he says, I made a mistake, but I paid online, what do I do? And it's like, well, you gotta, put in for a refund. And it usually takes about 10 business days to get that money back in your account. So, otherwise, if you get good at it, fine, pay online, take it in, put it on the counter with the payment. It already says on the paperwork that you paid, and you're good to go. So, yeah, you can do it that way too. So any questions on this part of it, selecting routes? And I can do this live for you if you want to see something, how to select the routes.
You want me to pull it up?
Sure, if you can do that, that's great.
So we go on your website to see the routes, or we go to the post office?
USPS.com.
Okay.
US Postal Service, and that's what Mark's gonna do now. See in the upper part where it says business? He's gonna go there and then come down to every door direct mail, right here. Map
So
is
this is
loaded.
the actual mapping tool, so let's put in an address.
Either an address or a zip code. One of the two.
So I just put our zip code 89113 here.
And that's what I put in when I selected Spanish Trail. I just pulled the map down so I could get to Tropicana. He runs his runs the cursor over the map and it lights up, and it tells you up above here. Oh, we've got 750 residences and 292 businesses on that route for 1,042. If you wanna get rid of the businesses, just come up here and put residential only. Go ahead and go up there, Mark, and click one of those and say, okay, just residential only, and click anywhere and that thing will go away. And we've got an ages 25 to 34. There are 28% of that age group on this route. You can set the parameters. It might not be relevant to what you're doing, but if you're say a cemetery, a mortuary, whatever, you're looking for people who are in their golden years, shall we say, you'll want a higher percentage of people from 65 to 85 years old. So you can look at the routes and see, oh, these people are probably interested in what we're selling. You've also got household size. So this particular route has 2.23 people per household. Gives an average of their income. So, and it tells you again the cost of what it would be to mail to that route, 750 pieces. So yeah, you can even check the average income on that route, which I went and looked at where I live, and I actually brought the average down. Yes?
Have they changed it where you can avoid like apartments and stuff like that?
No, we can't avoid apartments yet. So I would suggest tailoring your mail fees to apartment people who might be looking to buy.
I think doing apartments is great, because that's an easy, rent versus buy thing. I actually had a harder time with that, but with the.
It's a lot.
And because you get both sides of the mail piece, you can put more information on it. Or you can partner up with another business and have them pay for half the mailing by using the other half for their business. You've got a family member who has a fast food place or anything like that. You can share the mail piece.
I have a question. How often should we mail out mailers? You suggest?
Oh boy, that depends on the business too. But if it's a real estate, if you're trying to work a particular farm where you've got maybe, I don't know, 300 to 400 homes, I'd probably want to hit that thing once every couple months, just to keep yourself on their mind. You never know when somebody gets transferred or something, has to sell their home.
So do we do that mailing list once we initially do the first one, and then we can follow up with like our own personal handwritten letters? Or
You won't get the addresses. You'll just get how many deliveries there are.
Title can do that for you. I do it, when I do every other month on my farm, and then on the other months I send something direct.
every other
Or
month?
do seasonal. It works, and then
Right.
and then pull the non-owner-occupied and mail them separately.
So you'll notice that, okay, I picked 2 routes in Spanish Trail. Say I wanted Spanish Hills on the other side. Over there, say I wanted them, well, they're in 89148. Simply, at the top where you put your zip code, just comma, 89148, it'll give you those zip codes, and you can select them both. And I think they both get delivered by the Westridge Post Office. So still, you only go to one post office to drop it off. If you wanna select a route, I don't know how many routes are in Spanish Hills. Maybe just one, it's not that big, so.
Probably.
Hey, any more questions on this so far? We good? Okay. So, if you'd like to get started, yes, we do have an interest in what you're doing here, because this particular program, if it worked for you, we know you're gonna wanna do it again. And the cool thing about this is, if you send out a mailing next month, you don't have to send out another mailing until 2, 3, 4 months down the road. You mail when you want to mail. You mail when you want. With a couple exceptions, you mail how much you want. Now the exceptions are, every door direct mail requires a minimum. You have to mail at least 200 pieces. So if you see a route that only has 175 deliveries, well, you gotta select another route to go with it. So you get over that 200 threshold.
I have a question.
Yes.
What do the agents say that they see their return? Let's say that they have 1, 2, 3 farms, or what do they say?
Return on those? I couldn't give you solid numbers, but I'd be looking for maybe 1/30% as a return, and you'd be doing all right. Cause I know people have said, like a lot of the fast food places, they're looking for a 2 to 3% return on their mailings. And some other businesses, maybe 1%. And if you get a 1% return on your mailings in real estate, you're gonna retire next year. Because that's a pretty darn good return. That's one call every 100 pieces that you're mailing. And that's just not reasonable. The expectation would be more like 1/30% would probably be what we're looking at. Because every time this works for you, I mean, the return, your commissions are going to more than pay for the mailing, or pay for many, many mailings. All right, the program, yeah, competition is fierce out there. How many agents do we have in the valley now? I remember when I was doing this,
About
we had
16,000.
okay, we had like 17,000 when I was doing this a year or two ago. So we've lost some agents for sure. The program has become a huge success. I cannot tell you how many companies are using this program. These are just some of the ones I've worked with. Top Sandwiches was big mailer, very big mailer. They're a little tiny sandwich shop over off of Windmill and Eastern, but they got a lot of business because of this. Liquor World, do I not have the Liquor World one? This one, yeah, Liquor World. They're big. They love this program. And I gotta tell a story. When I was with the Postal Service, my territory was the state of Nevada, so I had to hop on a plane every 4 to 6 weeks and fly up to the Reno airport and talk to businesses up there. Well, when I was in Reno, I got a phone call from a guy, politician, actually. He wanted me to talk to him about mailing to his constituents and where he was going to be a candidate. And so I met with him. I told him, well, I'm in Reno right now. He says, perfect, come on down to my diner. He had a diner between Carson City and Dayton. So I met with him at his diner. Was the Bunny Ranch Diner. And the candidate was the owner of all the brothels in Nevada. That was who I was working with. Because he ran all the brothels, yeah, Dennis Hoff. Anybody remember his name?
Yeah.
So I worked with Dennis not only on his candidacy, but also he wanted to send out every door direct mail for his diner. He wanted more business there. So, yeah, I sat down with him in his diner. He wanted to feed me. I didn't want to owe him anything. So I didn't, it's like, no, I'm full, I'm fine. It's like people like that, you just, yeah, I don't know. I didn't want to owe him anything, but he turned out to be a decent guy. His father was actually a letter carrier for the Postal Service. So we have that in common, and that's probably about it. But, yeah, as it turns out, 3 weeks before the election, they went to wake him up and he was dead. So he died from, I don't know, it's a heart attack or somebody put something in his drink in his birthday party the night before. I don't know, but he died 3 weeks before the election. And won his election. Even though he was dead, he still won. So there you go, the power of mail. You can die and still be successful. Sell a home even if you die.
Did he have a discount on there?
Your cost on it and everything, is there at all a discount for volume, for, like, is there a graduated cost if you're doing more printings?
There is.
What would be like the first break, 5,000, 6,000?
I would say 5,000. We have a price for 2,500. Then we have a price on 5,000. I don't know if we stop at 75 or we go right to 10,000, 20,000. Liquor World is probably the biggest mailing I ever done. They did about a 75,000 piece mailing took me 4.5 hours to put it together.
Hmm.
Whereas if I come and help you, I'm gone in 15 minutes.
And then is there a charge for, putting them in a bundle of 100 to mail them?
There is, but it's minimal. And you wanna get that package where it's bundled in bundles of 100.
Oh, definitely, yeah, I've counted them out in
Yeah.
sets.
Yeah,
Cause they have to be mailed in a bundle of 100.
yeah, that's how the
Wrapped,
post office
wrapped
wants
with the
them.
paper and all this.
So what we do is we get a digital scale, we count out 100, we weigh it, and now we don't have to count anymore, cause we know how much 100 weighs. And it goes a little quicker that way. Yes, ma'am?
So the price that you showed on the example, 170 something, was that
Yes.
for the mailing and the printing, or printing?
Just for the mailing.
Just for the
Just for
mailing.
the postal service. Yeah, this cost is only what the postal service charges.
Okay,
Otherwise, if you go through Design One Printing, we charge you the price for the flyers up front. Okay, you pay this much and you get 5,000 flyers. And you can have them all delivered in 1 month, or 1 week, or you can wait and have them delivered in a year. You don't have to mail them all right away, you choose when you wanna mail them. That's the beauty of this program. Where you wanna mail them, when you wanna mail them, and with a couple exceptions, how much you wanna mail. And I gave you the minimum was 200, the maximum is 5,000 pieces per zip code per day. And there are ways around that, but I've talked to post offices personally and say, hey, can you get, they really would rather mail like 7,500. And we've been able to push it through, but that's, if you've got connections, then you can do things like that. So, all right, so how to get started. If you're interested in this program, you gotta get yourself registered at USPS.com. Very simple, you just go to USPS.com and say, I wanna register, and they get your information. Realty One Group, the whole bit. You consult with Design One Printing, or another printer in the valley. Oh wait, there are no other printers in the valley. There's only Design One.
Just like there are no other real estate companies.
Exactly. After that, Design One Printing will assist you with your first mailing. You drop your mailing off at the appropriate post office, which your paperwork will tell you which post office to go to. And then you're all set. You pay for the mailing unless you do it beforehand online. And then the Postal Service has 2 days to get that mailing out, which is cool, because if you go through the bulk mailing unit, it could take forever for them to get it to the appropriate post office, then they finally mail it. You got an open house this weekend, and you get a mailing in to that post office today, you know it's gonna be out at the very latest on Friday. So you can plan for an open house with a mailing like this, because you know it's gonna hit the homes before the actual open house, which is very cool. Any questions on this so far? Okay. All right, here's our location, our phone number. If you want to take a photo or anything, you're welcome to do so. Although I do have my business card out there. I scratched out a cell number there that I don't use anymore, so the number that you do see gets you right into the offices, 530-6277. And if you need new business cards, look at the quality of that business card. That's nice. Very cool. That's what they call a premium card. Okay, we do brochures, business cards, postcards, magnets, vehicle windows, yard A-frames. We pretty much do it all at Design One Printing. Used to be I do these presentations for the Postal Service. All I can offer you is mailing. Postal Service doesn't do any of this other stuff. So it's very cool to work for a company that can offer you the collateral or any other products that you would need. All right, 10% off link for Realty One Group, and there's a QR code there. So if you want to take pictures of that, or just contact them and say, yeah, I sat in on Ralph's presentation, and there was a 10% off link, explain that to me. So whatever your cost to get your flyers, you're gonna get 10% off of that. They might even throw some design in there too. Because normally there is a design fee. It's like probably $35 to get your flyer designed. And I've got so many design, Realty One Group designs that I can show you also. I've got them all on a flash drive. I can plug it in. I can pick them all out and send it to you via email. So if you want my email, or if you just want to contact, let me give you my personal number. If you contact me at 702-327-2794, call today. I know, it sounds like a commercial number, but it's just my personal number, 702-327-2794. So if you contact me and say, yeah, send me some flyers with designs, I wanna see what the difference is on them, and see if I can pull some ideas off of each flyer to make my flyer my own. Because I've seen some good flyers, I've seen some bad flyers. Some gentleman worked for Century 21. He thought it'd be a good idea to.
Never heard of them either.
Yeah, that must have been in California or something. There was so much information, I mean, it's like, I don't have time to read everything on this mail piece. And I'm sure it was good information, but nobody's gonna read that. You've got 2 to 3 seconds to get somebody's attention out of the mailbox, 2 to 3 seconds. If somebody looks at that and they see a short story, they're just gonna put it right in the trash.
Typically, they're sorting their mail over the trash can.
Yeah, that's about it. And if they've got an inkling that they want to buy or sell, and you've got something on that mail piece that says, call today for a free evaluation, market evaluation, however you word it, that might be somebody who gives you a call. You never know. So, any other questions about mailing, size, anything like that? Cost?
Yeah, how much is printing?
That can vary based on the size you choose.
Let's say those long ones.
That'll be your most reasonable. I can send you the breakdown on that. Shoot me a text, and I'll send you the flyer that has the pricing on it. Yeah, because he's got pricing where it's just a price for flyers.
Yeah.
And then it's got pricing where bundled in 100, and that also includes some design work too. So it's the better value. So also, you get flyers from us, then I will help you with your first mailing. What you got there? Okay, well, I thought he was going to upgrade the QR code. I guess he didn't get to it yet, so.
So is it just design one printing?
Design one printing, call the phone number on my business card. And did you get a card?
I did.
Okay. Yeah, call the number on that card, say, yeah, I'm interested, but I want to know how much it costs for so many flyers. And let me tell you, if you wanna, say you've got a couple routes and it comes out to 1,113 mail pieces. Well, we can do that, but it's gonna cost you a lot more money because that's a number we have to do in-house. We can create the cards in-house, but if you order like 2,500 or 5,000, we'll just send away and they'll come in all nice and ready to go. If we don't have to create them in-house, it's a lot cheaper for you. But yeah, we can do it in-house if it's a weird number like that. But now we gotta get somebody to work on it, cutting it, sizing it, the whole bit. So I would recommend getting it in chunks of 2,500 or 5,000. And then you'd be a lot better off money-wise. It probably costs the same to do 1,100 as it would be 2,500 or 5,000. Probably costs the same money, so you might as well get more. And you can always use them in the future if they're still relevant. Like Natasha said, she wanted to do some editing on hers because maybe it's not relevant anymore. Times change. So information has to change too.
Awesome. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Well, wait, there's more.
Yeah.
So John,
Yep.
you got a class coming up, 11
Yes.
o'clock, right?
Yep.
Tell us about it.
Renovation home loans, that's something that's not, well, people are doing them right now, but they will be more apparent in the future when the inventory goes down. But, it's just a regular loan. It's not complicated. It's not something special outside the box. It's not something the seller has to worry about or you as a buyer agent have to manage. It's just finding house, closing it, and moving on. And then the lending company takes care of all the renovation management and all that stuff. So, it's not scary, not difficult, so we're gonna break that down and, there's some really good, tricks and stuff to use for it, so. Anybody sticking around for that class, or? Okay, no problem, no problem. So, but yeah, we'll start that here in a little bit. Mark mentioned, inventory. Inventory sticking on the market for now. There is partially because of the rates. People are watching media and expecting the rates to be somewhere they're not right now, so that's kind of slowing things down. But keep in mind also, our applications are through the roof right now. Our contracts are not there, so we're seeing it too. A lot of it is buyers kind of not knowing what's really going on. They hear that they're gonna have to pay for commission on their agent compensation. The headlines are all over the place, but they don't understand what that means. So there's a lot of wait and see right now. Really, don't do it on social media. It's not effective. Pick up the phone, contact your buyers, your people that have been pre-qualified. You know, talk to them, have the conversation, face to face or over the phone. It's not a text, it's not social media. You gotta have a real conversation with these people so they feel comfortable. So just know that. But yeah, we'll jump in this class here shortly. So.
All righty,
I have a
John.
question for you.
we have a question. What?
Maybe after class.
Okay. Thank you all. No matter how you slice it, greatness is choice. Remember. And it's a whole new world out there with new playing fields, rules, and players. Your choice is either to learn the new game or continue to be the very best player in a game that is no longer being played. We need to pivot. All right, thank you.